Welcome to Get the Universe Working for You on your finances and why you can be abundant and why you can't be abundant, what the universal laws are behind these states of financial freedom or financial blocks. All right, so thanks for joining me. Now, why can I assist you with this? Because my journey has been one of struggle financially, and there's been times where I've had no money. I've been overseas with not a penny to my name, and then there's now to the place that I am feeling financially free and in control and have a successful business that I love, that I'm passionate about. So I also read energy fields, so I know the traits of those that get financially stuck and those that are financially free. I watch these patterns time and time again. I see people fill out forms when they reply to us in forensic healing and what their biggest obstacle is and what they say. So I'm going to give you some powerful insights and get you to use a checklist to see which way you fall, whether you're destined to be financially free or financially blocked. You good to go? Great. Well, let's do this checklist. I'll tell you who the people are that are financially blocked. They're very easy to identify. The first one will be the upbringing. All right, so your environment, because that programs you in childhood. As we know, that's when you're programmed, that's where everything sticks, that's where your blueprint is created in your childhood. So if your parents are struggling, if you are in an environment that's poor, if your parents are worried about money and they say things like, oh, we can't afford that, and they stress, then that is what you're programmed to create in the future. Just look at your environment, because you will see that if you haven't done healing, if you haven't changed your mindset, if you haven't worked on this, your childhood will match exactly where you are now. Yeah? Just take a look at it. Most people never move until they really go inside themselves and pluck out the things that aren't working, the things that they're saying. So that's the first one. The second one that I see a lot is abuse. So if you've been sexually, physically, or emotionally abused, then that sets, your mindset that you're unworthy. It sets this blueprint that you are less than, that you are there to be abused and taken from. And that is the most traumatic, and that is the hardest thing to do, to move from. So those three things have a powerful impact on someone's financial status, because they will continually tell themselves that they are unworthy and that they allow abuse. And when they're abused, that means people take from them, and that they don't value, themselves, so they won't value their financial input. That is really huge. It's really huge because it shatters the soul and it makes you incomplete. So when you are incomplete inside, it shows up outwardly. Therefore, incomplete inside, then everything outside has to be incomplete. Finances are incomplete, relationships are incomplete. Until it's this wholeness inside, you can't get that wholeness outside. And a lot of the people that are highly, successful financially, they're usually men too, because they have this mindset of self-worth and value for themselves, and they don't question, they don't get emotionally manipulated, and therefore they make sure that they make decisions that are best for themselves and the company, as opposed to everyone outwardly, which women have a tendency to do, because they look at themselves as carers, as, oh, what, I feel sorry for them. And I've seen that pattern when people will think that they don't think that I run my business the way that they would run their business. And they're all women, by the way, that would say that. And then they go bankrupt. I always notice that those that want to put their beliefs on me go bankrupt, or their businesses fail, because they think that they should care for others as opposed to caring for their business, and their business never works. So I have seen that pattern time and time again. And that comes from all the conditioning and mindset that you have in childhood. And women struggle a lot with this because they're less educated in the business world. They're not as valued. They feel like a second-class citizen, and men tend to dominate more this business world and financial world. And it's a consciousness as well. So what else do I see? Negative self-talk. I see people write and go, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, God, I wish I had the money. And they continually say this thing time and time again. Can't afford that. That's too expensive. And so what they say is that, one, they don't value what is on offer. Two, they're saying that they're not worth that amount of money. And three, they continue this cycle of never having enough money. So self-talk is probably one of the biggest. You've got to really get in your head and go, well, what am I saying about money and your relationship with money? And people can feel uncomfortable about money. It's if I took you right now and put you in like a wealthy person's a house or a really expensive hotel, 5-star hotel, would you feel comfortable around the people there? I know that I used to feel uncomfortable around money or more, places, suburbs. When I moved to a suburb that was, higher, there was a lot of wealthy people in this area, and I kind of didn't really feel like I fitted in until after I was there lived there, and I got comfortable. You've got to start getting comfortable about being around wealth, because people do feel uncomfortable. I've noticed that some people say, oh, I don't feel comfortable around another person because they like good things, they like expensive things, yet this person will not do that for themselves. So you've got to analyze, what is your comfort around wealth? Because if you're not comfortable about having money or receiving money and people giving, you're saying, I don't want that to the universe. Yeah, we often don't feel worthy of it. And so we've got to awaken ourselves up and look at this. Look at this concept of, do we receive, do we go to, and I always say to someone, look, go to a really pricey hotel and go have a cup of tea there and sit in that energy and stay there and absorb it and love it and get comfortable being there. So that you're going, yeah, I can do this. Because normally people grow their wealth as they change. Their wealth is going to be reflective of their beliefs about themselves and their energy. And it took me a while to go from working for somebody else to then running my own company, because that's a whole new concept of, when you've got your own company, then you have to find that worth in yourself, because no one's paying you. It's actually, you actually paying yourself, really. And you feel comfortable around wealth. Well, that's good that you feel comfortable around wealth. The other thing is that I find when people say, oh, I don't have enough clients, and if they're a therapist or they want to have their own business, they don't show themselves. Yeah, I'll get back to you in a minute, Jacinta. So you don't show yourself. You don't, in a genuine way, don't show yourself. Someone that's competitive that's an energy that isn't going to work. Because when someone's competing with you, that means they want to push you down to their expense. So when that occurs, that backfires because it's bad karma. Whereas if you are genuine and you have integrity and you share yourself in this genuine way, then you will be seen. Like here I am doing a video and I bear my emotions and I tell you how I feel and I show you who I am. Then I put myself in a vulnerable situation. However, I've got to a point where I'm okay with that, because when I'm vulnerable, I actually have my power, because vulnerable means you feel. So when I feel, I know what someone else is thinking or feeling, and therefore I can discern, then I can make a good decision. I'm not being betrayed anymore like I used to be. And so I show myself, and I'm okay with that. I will express myself, and that will be the number one factor that women fail to do, is express and show themselves, because society or the global consciousness doesn't value what women have to say. They don't, revere women like they should, and their opinions. You're welcome. So that's why you start showing yourself and being okay with it. Because I hear that a lot. People go, oh, I don't want to, people see me and whatever. Well, you get comfortable with or with showing who you are. And you'll need to heal yourself inside, and you'll have to push past these barriers. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, your financial status, whatever it is, if you want more, you're going to have to change and get uncomfortable. That means you start doing something that's uncomfortable. What is that? Doing a video? Is that sharing who you are, showing what you do, connecting with people? I notice in blog posts, and I've also felt this way, so I get it. You kind of get a bit intimidated in making a comment in Facebook. Well, go ahead and make a comment. Go ahead and say, well, as long as it's good, as long as it's constructive and something positive, what have you got to lose, really? And start connecting, and start, making small connections, which then grow to big connections. All right. Bad karma, that's a big one. People that have bad karma, that's really coming around full circle today. So people that I've seen this, people that are negative, they're competitive, they're jealous, and all those things don't work. So that has to be cleared. You have to clear out your anger inside you. There are blocks in that can be another aspect. I'm not saying it's everyone's, but that's either a bad karma, also to themselves. They might be bad to themselves. You can't have financial freedom and have good karma to yourselves. There's a plane flying right over right now, if you can hear that. And I'm not close to the airport, so I don't know why that's flying over. All right. Good karma, nice karma. So when you bless someone else, you bless yourself. And my neighbour's coming right up to my door, and that's her dog. She came up to the door because her dog comes to my back door because I give him a little pat, and also he loves my kitty, right? So she had to pick him up. All right. Mary, I love sharing what I've learned, what has helped me move out of the shitsville. I love that. Shitsville. Can I use that? Who's in Shitsville, right? Shitsville. I love that. That's adorable. All right. So let's look at some people that are successful. Those people that are successful, and I've learned this, trust me, I've learned because I've hung around business people, and I was married to a businessman that was an entrepreneur, and I noticed what he did because he has run businesses prior, and the things that he did right was invest in himself. So I've spent a huge amount of money investing in myself. I've got mentored by other people. I've done healing courses, and then I've done business courses, but I've started with healing myself first, because I recognize that no matter what you do, until you heal the inside, then whatever you learn, it conflicts. If you've got unworthiness in here, and then you go out and try and run your business or try and get clients, until this self-worth changes inside, it's not a match. So I've done loads of courses, healing courses, plus I've also done loads of business courses. I've paid a lot of money. I've gone, you know what? It seemed to be the more I paid for a course, the more I elevated myself, and I noticed that the courses that I did would get higher and higher. I've even flown to Los Angeles for a 2-day course, I've done, I've done all sorts of things that I've just gone, you know what? I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I've got to invest in me because I recognize that one, the universe pushes me to do this because I am serving my mission. I am living my mission. I've got to invest so that I have the know-how. Not only do I have a shift in energy inside, I want to know how to do this, and I want to know how to move forward. And I don't make excuses. That's another thing. People go, why they can't do a course, because I notice this when they might go, I can't do that course. And I go, and it's like, well, why are you even writing something like that when there's a free course you can do to help change your finances? I've got plenty of blog posts. I've actually got a blog post talking about your abundance. There's all these things that you can do before you sign up for anything. And there's plenty of stuff out on the internet that you can do that pushes you to the next step, instead of just writing and telling me that you can't afford something, or our company, or they'll tell anybody that they can't afford anything. It's not just me, but that's generally what they keep on repeating. So you got to go, you know what? I'm never ever going to write or say that I can't afford that. What I'm going to do is say, that would be really great to do that, and leave it at that. That would be great. I would love to do that. And don't say that, and don't go into the feeling that you can't. Just go, imagine doing that. I'm not saying lie to yourself, but I used to say, imagine, like I'd look at something I couldn't afford, or I'd look at a house that I wanted to live in, and I'd go, imagine living there. And I would just go in and I would imagine it. And lo and behold, I actually did end up in a beautiful place down in Mount Eliza that I used to go, imagine living there, in a really nice house. And so that's what I say, imagine that. Instead of going, oh, I can't afford that. Imagine you being highly successful. Imagine being financially free. Imagine what that would feel like. So that's how you need to talk to yourself. And this is what we do when we analyze, Get the Universe Working for You workshops. We actually go inside you and we pick out all the things that are your block. We pick out why you get stuck. And I noticed the very first person that I brought up on the course, I said, so what do you want? And then she said all the things she wants. And then we said, well, what are you feeling? And then we had everything written down on what she feels. And they're all a whole bunch of negative stuff. And then I said, you might be saying what you want, but what have you done about the feelings, all these dark feelings that are inside you? What have you done to change them? Because that is the way the universe responds. So anyway, so that is where I start with being financially, to try and get your financial independence, and looking, it's going to reflect your level of self-worth, and it will reflect how much you've invested in yourselves. Because you watch anybody, I guarantee you can do your sums. You look at anyone that's successful and you say, what have you done to get to where you are? They didn't fluke it. You say, what have you learned? What have your courses have you done? What have you changed? And they'll say, I continually change, and I continually invest, and I continually put energy on myself. Then you ask somebody that has no finances, and you turn around and you ask them, so what have you done? They will say nothing. Or they might go, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that is the bottom line of progressing finances. And I realized that because I wasn't one of those people. I used to go, oh no, I shouldn't do it. And my ex would say, no, you do that. You go and learn that. You go and do that course. No, you would say, no, buy something nice for yourself. No, you stay in a nice hotel. He would start to say these things, so that I started to get accustomed to saying I'm worthy. So it actually changed my energy. So then I go, I am worthy, because it's all a belief system. Because I've noticed, how much you charge and how you feel about what you do will reflect on who you attract and how successful, because it's all energy, especially if you're you're a therapist or something like that. All right. So that is, in essence, the overall picture of why you might be financially independent or not, or why you struggle in finances, you've got to actually do something. You've got to get out of your comfort zone, and you've literally got to energetically change. Because I'll ask you this question: you think of your financial status now, and then reflect back to your childhood, and does it look similar? And if it looks similar, it means that you haven't changed. And if it's worse, it means that you've got to really shift something. It's probably something negative inside you. Or if it's getting better, it's saying that you are... Love the piano music coming in. I don't have piano music. That's so bizarre. There's no piano music. So that's going to be... Now let me just go back, and I think that we had a question about... So it's about, making sure that you ask people to pick you up on what you say. But what I usually say, as I gave you some affirmations, to say, remind yourself to go, I can't, instead of going to a feeling of not affording that, and also feeling jealous or feeling uncomfortable about what people's success is, get comfortable and be okay with that, and move through it. And when you support someone else that does well, it comes back to you energetically. When you support people and are okay with people that make a lot of money, it will say that you're okay with making a lot of money. Those that oppose those sort of people and criticize those people aren't doing themselves a justice. Let people, if people are paying them the money, you've got to be okay with wealthy people that charge a lot, with people that make a lot of money, and whatever they do with it, you've got to be non-judgmental and don't judge. And our industries, which is quite spiritual, has a negative connotation, and it has, it's got a biblical consciousness about it, that you can't be rich and spiritual, and that's kind of embedded in us. And I know that when I was in the church, you would get a blessing and a healing from one of the elders, and they would say, that would be cursed if they, hopefully it's okay, they would be cursed if someone charged for the blessing. So it kind of had this, that our energy should be free, and people sometimes comment that we shouldn't be charging for what we do. So you've got to really get rid of that whole concept and shift and elevate this industry that we're in. And own it. And this is one of my parting words to you will be this. And again, it was similar in that last video. The world is shattered. The world is a mess. The world is in chaos. The energy of the world, it's devastated, it's shattered, it's suffering. Okay. People that can heal that at the core level are women with their love, are energy healers, are therapists. We can heal shattered souls. So how the earth is a reflection of us. So when we heal the human soul, we heal the earth, because the humans connect and they realize that they are one with the universe. They feel what they are doing to one another. So if you can remember that that's what your love does, that's what your energy does, especially if you're a therapist, an energy healer, or a forensic healer, recognize that that is the most valued service on this planet, and that it's priceless. And when you recognize that and own that, then you elevate this work, and then people value it, and we shift instead of hiding and being pushed down, instead of not, being compensated for the shift we're doing. Because you look at the planet, a lot of people get paid for for harming the planet. So you own that, and have that identity in every part of your soul and every part of your DNA, and walk around proud that you are connected to the universe, to the earth. You want to heal it, and that your love and your energy is shifting and being part of that, and it's to be valued. All right, so let's finish up here by taking a nice deep breath in of gratitude that you have this, opportunity to help the planet, help yourself. Well, really, it's actually help yourself first. When you change you change the planet. So that's the most important. And the blog post today will go into more detail about why that's important that you heal yourself. And it's how to, if you hate suffering, you feel traumatized by suffering, this blog post will shift you from that and help you be part of the solution. So I encourage you to read that today. So taking a deep breath in of gratitude, and let's just breathe out love, so that we're reminded that our energy can elevate and can heal, and that when we are focusing on that kindness and love, that we are shifting this energy, we're transmuting it. So thank you again. Blessings and love always.